In the short time I've been with IOC, I've been really impressed by the commitment and the enthusiasm of our employees to really improve the work that we do every day. 2009 was a very good example of that. We were faced with some very difficult external market dynamics, and yet the IOC organisation really stood up to those challenges, and we've performed very well throughout the year. I'd like to thank all of our employees for their commitment and efforts in 2009 to make the year such a success. I think we need to use that as the base to build our energy and momentum as we move forward into 2010 and beyond. 2010 is about investing in our people so that we can build a strength for our business moving forward, having open discussions and working with our unions to achieve this success. We must set priorities so we can achieve this. We've been seeing a lot more of the Rio Tinto symbol lately. Rio Tinto is among the leaders in the mining and metal industry, and that brings to IOC a lot of benefits. With Rio Tinto, we can share a lot of our expertise so that we can continue to improve the way we work. But additionally, and also very importantly, they bring a lot of clout to us in the markets that we provide to. Rio Tinto has operations all over the world, mostly concentrated in Australia and North America. IOC forms part of the iron ore product group, where there are operations in Australia, in India, in Africa, and also our operations here in Canada. To set priorities, we need context, and to do that we need to understand more about the markets that we're operating in. As an example, over 3/4 of the iron ore which is produced each year is moving into the China market. That's a significant amount of production, and clearly as we move forward, China will be the dominant force in where supply will move into the future. To ensure IOC maintains its competitive position, we must ensure that we extract the most that we can from our existing resources. That means delivering every additional tonne that we can at the lowest possible cost, of course without compromising the health and safety of our employees. Last year's global recession was devastating for many companies. For example, 32 mines were closed temporarily across Canada last year. The fundamentals for our business now, however, are looking quite strong. We're seeing improved concentrate and pellets performance, and I'm cautiously optimistic about what the future will bring for us. We are seeing a recovery in the market, but we're nervous as to whether that can be sustained. There are two aspects of that. One is the government stimulus packages are winding down, and we may see less investment moving forward in some of our core base metals. And secondly, we're actually seeing a phenomenon called restocking, where it could be that some of our markets are actually just building the stocks that they used throughout 2009. As we set some specific priorities for 2010, there are a number of overarching themes that are important and are maintained through all of the work that we do going forward. Key to that is obviously the health and safety of our employees, of course the people that we have in our business, and also the sustainability, how we interact and blend the goals across our community, our environment and our financial performance. Health and safety is core to what we're doing at IOC. It's really about ensuring that we strive to a zero harm culture where each of us can return from our day at work to our families and to our communities unharmed. That's really to be affected at a number of levels. It's about taking safety leadership by everyone. Everyone has a role in which they can play in contributing to achieving zero harm. It's also about understanding our process risks, which are the things we describe as being the things that have the potential to cause significant harm, and we must remain vigilant and focused in how we work through these key risks. This could be the use of our risk tools such as our Take 5, or it could be about asking for clarity about a job and getting the context that you need to complete your job safely. People are really at the heart of our business. It's really about understanding how each of us can contribute to the success broadly in the business. For me, this is really about actively listening to one another, contributing to new ideas so that we can actually strengthen the business, and taking actions by each of us to make a small improvement every day that we come to work. IOC has been operating for 50 years, and I'm hopeful we have a further 50 years ahead of us. To be successful, we have to keep focusing on the environmental impacts that we have, the communities through which we operate, and the financial benefits that we bring to our local communities and the region in general. If we do these things, we will be a stronger and more successful company moving forward. When we act in a sustainable way, we all benefit. The business strength is greater, which in turn allows us to provide more to the employees. At the top of my specific priorities for 2010, it's around developing a capable and engaged workforce. This is really about understanding what each of us needs to develop moving forward. We have to understand where we have gaps in people's capacities or development and provide training opportunities to bridge those gaps. In doing so, we will open the conversation with one another to actually enhance our future. Leadership is a critical ingredient to ensuring the success of an engaged workforce. Listening to one another and taking action will ensure we improve the day-to-day work of all of our employees. We need a workforce with greater agility and flexibility so that we can improve the way we deliver our work. It's really about recognising our employees and thanking people for the hard work they bring every day to their jobs. It's really important that we strengthen the relationships that we have surrounding us, whether that be with the Newfoundland and Labrador government, with the Quebec government, or indeed with our local community partners. Communities are really important. Where we have strong communities, we have a strong organisation. The two are completely connected. Strengthening the relationship with our unions is also a critical aspect of what my priorities look like for 2010. Developing relationships based on openness and trust are really important to ensure that we're listening to one another and working together to achieve the targets that we have. I've had the chance to meet with George, Tony and the broader union executive team, and I've been really impressed with their commitment and dedication to improve the organisation. I'm really keen to work together to build off that foundation and strengthen our future together. In our region, we've seen new mines emerge on our doorstep. We now have to compete against people who are now our neighbours. For me, increasing our production is less around working harder and harder, which I think would build on some of the frustrations which we have seen, and more around focusing on our asset management principles, back to basics, making sure we do our job right and doing it right the first time. To best use what we already have, we need to focus on our asset management principles, lean and continuous improvement. This means improving everything we do every day. Growing our business is really important for our future. There are two ways we can do this. The first through continuous improvement and the other in one big leap by restarting our expansion projects. The two are intricately linked. To the extent we can improve our business on a gradual and a continuous improvement, we will help establish confidence in our shareholders to support the approval of an expansion project. Through the economic downturn, we built some strength in our financial discipline. Now that our markets are returning, it's important that we build from that and continue the discipline moving forward. For me, this is around making sure that all of the costs and everything we spend every day actually contributes to a successful business. It's like pretending this is our own business. Would you make the same decision if it were your own money? Would you purchase each of these items, or in fact, could you do it more efficiently? In summary, for me it's really about the health and safety of our employees as being core to ensure that we don't harm anyone and we strive to achieve a zero harm culture. It's really around the engagement that we have with one another, strengthening and supporting the way in which we can work together to achieve the success of the business. It's also about working with those key stakeholders, the unions, the governments that we operate with, to really build the success and strength for the future. It's also around ensuring that we can build the capacity for expansions. It's really to enable the business to grow as we go forward. And of course, importantly, it's also about the way in which we deliver our existing business, the financial performance, the strength in our production, and our ability to manage our costs. I'm confident and optimistic that we have what we need to succeed. We have exciting times ahead. We have a market which is responding, we have a business which is poised for expansion, and we're working together to achieve those goals. I'm really excited about these opportunities and looking forward to working together.